Now on K2 News, are you ready for round two, where we may see more snow and ice this week?
Travel spots, what you need to know if you're heading out on the road.
And the suspected Florida shooter in court again. The new information we're learning about him and what the White House said today about gun control. K2 News at 4 starts now.
This is a K2 Storm Tracker weather alert.
And we are in a storm tracker weather alert as we could see more snow and ice this week. That could affect your commute tonight and into tomorrow, as well as cause some school delays and closures. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lincoln Graves.
And I'm Deborah Knapp. We have team coverage of what to expect heading into tonight and tomorrow morning. But first, let's head straight to meteorologist Dave Selesky. And is round two on the way, Dave?
Round two is on the way. We've got about 24 hours for that. In the meantime, the big story tonight is going to be very cold temperatures all across the Pacific Northwest. And in some locations, we're talking record low numbers are possible. Now, currently we have partly cloudy skies. Nice afternoon out there. 38 degrees. The temperature. Winds are calm at this time. And we are going to keep dry skies in the forecast. Look at the Oregon coast. Fantastic afternoon there. Again, fair skies, 43. But with these fair skies and this upper level flow coming in out of the north, it's going to be very cold between now and tomorrow morning. We're talking about overnight lows. West side of the Cascades dropping down into the mid-20s. It'll be the coldest night so far this year on the west side of the Cascades in some locations. And then by Tuesday, I'm going to show you one of our versions of our computer model here in the hour-by-hour forecast. This shows this next weather maker right here dropping into the northwest. Now, computer models are having a difficult time with this storm forecasting its exact track. This is one of the tracks we're keeping an eye on this afternoon. This track is pushing the main area of low pressure with the moisture to the south of Portland, which means we will not see all that much snow. But if you're down in the Salem area, down towards Eugene, this system will affect the mid and south part of the Willamette Valley. We'll still see some snow out of this. There are other computer models I've been looking at, though, that have been showing the track coming into the north of us, up into parts of southwestern Washington, and right up over us as well. So again, we're having a difficult time with these computer models forecasting the exact track. Basically, the bottom line is going to be this. If you are somewhere between Longview, Washington, and Eugene, Oregon, you're going to have more wintry weather on your way in the next 24 hours. So here are the top three things you need to know for this evening. Dry and cold tonight. More wintry weather returns again tomorrow for southwestern Washington and for western Oregon. And we will be milder and damp towards the latter part of the week. We'll talk more about how much snow is on the way, who has the coldest temperatures, and just when to expect some moderating conditions about 10 minutes from right now. Back over to you guys.
Salt has been effective, yeah.
The Portland Bureau of Transportation credits road salt and de-icer for keeping traffic moving during our weekend snowstorm. Now crews are getting ready for the next round of icy conditions.
K2's Bob High is live on West Burnside, one of the usual trouble spots. And Bob, this time around, it wasn't as bad.
Yeah, Deb, Peabody says it's because this is one of the areas where they used road salt to keep the road clear during the storm, because the wet, heavy snow would have just washed away or covered up de-icer, and it looks like that decision paid off. Crews used salt here on Burnside and on Skyline Road. Both had to be shut down for a couple of hours, but reopened once the salt was down and traffic didn't have any problems. Now Peabody is getting ready for changing conditions overnight tonight, and the possibility that all this could refreeze.
Right now, today, we are looking at the school bus routes, especially in the West Hills, because again, it's forecast to be cold overnight. So areas that thaw during the day could refreeze, and so we want to make sure that the school buses have a safe route. So we're doing that, and then what we'll do normally on a cold night like this, we will do our snow and ice routes, our de-icing routes. So crews will be out overnight. They'll be putting down that magnesium chloride.
Oregon's Department of Transportation will be doing the same thing. It also used salt on stretches of Interstate 5 in the Portland area, which kept freeways generally clear. One problem remained on-ramps and off-ramps where traffic slowed down. Once again, live here, the tough thing for drivers tomorrow morning will be changing road conditions in areas like this. Some areas are dry, like you see behind me. Others are still wet from the thawing snow. That could refreeze, and that means changing conditions as you drive down the road, probably in the morning. Live on West Burnside, Bob High, K2 News.
Bob, thank you. Traffic issues began early this morning all around the Portland metro area. Drivers were sliding on the roads. We were tracking several crashes that caused major problems for the morning commute. K2's Keaton Thomas has more on how it all shook out.
It didn't take long for the first major traffic problem to pop up Monday morning. Before 4 a.m., a semi heading east on Highway 26 got stuck on top of the center median. No one was hurt, but the crash caused 70 gallons of diesel fuel to spill onto the highway. ODOT shut down the highway for several hours as it worked to get the truck off the median and then clean up that spill. By about 7, one lane was open for traffic. Crews separated the truck from the trailer and removed both individually. Environmental cleanup crews finished with the fuel spill by late morning when Highway 26 was back open. On the east side of Portland police say weather was the culprit in a 3-car crash on the flyover ramp from I-205 to I-84. ODOT shut down the road this morning to apply de-icer after the crash. It took about an hour for all lanes to be open again. And in Oregon City, several vehicles involved in a crash on 99W bridge over the Clackamas River. There are no injuries, but Gladstone Fire said the bridge was a sheet of ice. Officials say the crash was weather-related. Keaton Thomas, K2 News.
Some reminders from ODOT if you're on the road tonight and tomorrow morning and you do run into some ice. Position your hands at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock on the steering wheel. ODOT says this is the safest position. If you lose traction, slow down gradually. Don't slam on your brakes. If you get stuck, don't leave your car. It could be ticketed or towed. Instead, stay in your car and wait for help.
With temperatures below freezing again tonight, warming shelters will be open around the Portland area. Homeless advocates want you to keep an eye out for anyone who doesn't seem prepared for the cold. Call 911 if there's an emergency, but if it's not urgent, you can call a non-emergency line and request a welfare check from police. 211 is the number to call if you or someone else is simply looking for a place to go. You can also go to 211info.org/warming centers for a list of available locations in Oregon and Southwest Washington.
Of course, school districts are keeping a close eye on the weather as well. At this point, none of the major school districts are calling for delays or closures or even early releases, but that could change if the nasty weather moves in. District officials say transportation crews will drive the roads early Tuesday morning to check for ice. If it's unsafe, delays are possible. Districts plan to notify parents around 5 in the morning if that's the case. Hillsborough School District spokesperson Beth Grazer says they notify parents as soon as possible if there are any changes.
We're not thinking that it's going to impact the afternoon dismissal. There is a potential for it impacting afternoon and evening activities, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that.
The major school districts said they notify parents with a recorded phone message, email, or flash notification if schools decide to delay, cancel, or release early. Our Storm Tracker weather alert coverage continues throughout the evening. Dave is tracking the latest forecast developments. And for more information on school closures or delays, go to our website, KATU.com, and our social media pages.
Security was tight this afternoon as Florida school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz appeared in court for the second time. This is we're learning new details about his activities in the months leading up to the shooting. ABC's Jim Ryan has the latest.
The 19-year-old accused of killing 17 people in a high school last Wednesday was led into the courtroom for proceedings that lasted only a few minutes.
Okay, we're here on the case of the state of Florida versus Nicholas Cruz. Are all of the attorneys present? Yes, Your Honor.
At issue was a motion filed by the defense on Friday to keep sealed a document related to their access to Cruz. The judge agreed to keep it sealed, but said that from here on out, motions related to Cruz would be heard in open court.
Does anyone have any questions?
In a separate hearing without Cruz present, the judge granted an order to release documents from a 2016 state investigation.
The public should have the opportunity to properly evaluate the actions of the Department of Children and Families and all agencies that interacted with Nicholas Cruz prior to February 14th of this year.
Records show that Cruz had cut his arms and posted a video of the injuries on Snapchat, that he wanted to buy a gun, that he struggled with depression. Meanwhile, we're learning more about the family that took in Nicholas Cruz after his adoptive mother died in November.
And he was very polite. He seemed normal.
On Good Morning America, James and Kimberly Sneed said they knew he had an AR-15 rifle, but insisted that it be locked up.
He followed every rule to the T.
Until Wednesday. Nicholas Cruz was arrested after the murders of 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, leaving the Sneeds along with an entire community.
Just heartbroken, devastated. I still can't process it.
Jim Ryan, ABC News, Broward County, Florida.
A group called Teens for Gun Reform organized a protest outside the White House today. 17 local students laid down outside the White House, symbolizing the 17 students killed in Parkland. Other protesters held signs like "Am I next?" and "Protect kids, not guns." A White House spokesman said today President Trump is open to improving background checks and is in contact with a senator who's sponsoring a bipartisan bill to strengthen regulations.
That call to action is taking off across the country and here in Oregon. Tonight, a group is planning a vigil at Tualatin High School to honor those whose lives were lost in Florida. The group of moms and students who organized tonight's vigil say they want to honor those who lost their lives and their families, but they also want to get a conversation started to bring about change and inspire other students and families to take action. One mom says she's tired of feeling helpless.
I might not solve all the problems today, but at least I'm getting the conversation out there that we have to have change from our government, from our administrations, in our homes, the way we treat children, and just across the board.
The vigil is open to the public. It will be held at 7 tonight on the football field at Tualatin High School. Coming up at 5, hear from students about how the shooting in Florida has impacted them. Keep it here on K2 for the latest developments on the deadly school shooting in Florida. We'll bring you the latest local reaction as students here demand action. The latest headlines can be found on our website and social media pages.
Oregon State University is investigating whether students yelled racial slurs at a basketball game. Up next, the allegations made by an opposing player and what OSU is saying today.
Plus, a close call for some shoppers, how this car ended up crashing through an Oregon Safeway.
And later, we are on your side with a warning about a potentially deadly heart defect. How one man discovered his in a hard way and the lessons for all of us.
And coming up new on K2 News at 5, police say she was smacked and then grabbed on the rear while trying to get through a crawl space. The homeowner now accused of assaulting a contractor. That's brand new coming up at 5.
Here's a look at your Chevy Equinox time saver traffic. The map doesn't look too bad right now. We're just seeing mostly yellow and green out there, a few pockets of red, especially I-5 northbound. And here's a look at I-5 at Capitol. The sun glare making it a little hard to see, but traffic is moving smoothly.
All this week, we're helping you get the most out of your tax return. Tomorrow morning, how the old cliche time is money applies to your taxes. We'll show you ways to get organized, save time, and put more money in your pocket at 6 a.m. only on K2 News this morning.
Come on, Slowpoke. Guys, watch out. When did this get here? It's so deep. Whoa. Is that your sister? Yeah.
That feeling, only better. The confidence of 4Motion all-wheel drive, available in 4 fun-to-drive Volkswagen vehicles.
Hurry in this President's Day and lease a new 2018 Volkswagen Tiguan S 4Motion for just $219 a month.
What's more exciting than the opportunity to finally upgrade the windows and patio doors in your home? How about 40% off with Renewal by Andersen? Fall in love with your new windows and save 40% during the buy one, get one 40% off sale with no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Windows and patio doors come in all shapes and sizes, and Renewal by Andersen has them all. Plus, our products are made with tough, durable Fibrex material. No painting required, no cracking, pitting, corroding, or rotting. Installed by our trusted certified master installation specialists. Recognized by J.D. Power for outstanding customer satisfaction for window and patio doors. 40% off energy-efficient patio doors and windows means 100% off worrying about replacing them later. Experience the difference new windows can make and save during the buy one, get one 40% off sale. Plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. When an opportunity like this comes knocking at your patio door or window, there's only one thing to do. Call today for your free in-home estimate and transform opportunity into better home reality.
Listen up, all you procrastinators, you do-it-laters, until tomorrow waiters. It's the President's Day sales event at your local Ford store. There's never been a better time to get an amazing deal on America's best-selling brand. With 0 for 60 plus $2,500 cash back or $4,500 cash back on Escape or Edge. So don't be a regretter, a should-have-known better, and a no-deal getter. Now through February 28th, choose between 0 for 60 plus $2,500 cash back or $4,500 cash back on top of your trade. Only at your local Ford store.
A, less than 20 miles from Portland, only 2 minutes from the highway.
Here's another check of your Chevy Equinox time saver traffic with ODOT cameras. This is 2:05 at Powell. You can see the sun is shining and traffic seems to be moving very nicely. Now looking at some travel times, not too bad for a Monday afternoon. The worst of it's going to be northbound, of course, I-5 going into Vancouver, just about a half an hour. Southbound Markham Bridge to Wilsonville, 18 minutes.
New at 4, Oregon State University is investigating an incident where some fans allegedly shouted racial slurs at an opposing basketball team. According to the Associated Press, USC women's basketball player Minion Moore tweeted last night saying some OSU fans yelled slurs, including the N-word, at her and her black teammates as the team was leaving the court following the Trojans' loss to the Beavers. Moore has since deleted the tweets. OSU spokesman Steve Clark said the school is investigating and is in contact with USC officials. In a statement, he also said, there is no place at Oregon State or in college athletics for racially derogatory actions or statements.
Also new this afternoon, a police chase in Washington ended with a stolen car dangling 10 feet in the air, crashed into the side of a building. Take a look at these photos. You can see the car through the fence right into the siding. It all happened east of the Tri-Cities in Grandview. Officers say the driver, a 24-year-old documented gang member, led them on a chase, eventually crashed the car into the building. Even 10 feet up, he managed to get out and run away. Police later found him and arrested him. To another wild crash. This was a close call for shoppers in a Junction City Safeway yesterday afternoon. A car came barreling through the front door of the store and drove about 50 feet inside. It broke the glass doors, and you can see it turn toward the produce section before coming to a stop. Junction City police say it was an accident. The 88-year-old driver won't face any charges. Firefighters say the driver and 2 passengers were okay. One customer was hit by debris but will also be okay.
Governor Kate Brown wants to revamp education so the next generation is better prepared to join the workforce. Today, she met with a nonprofit that has had that same goal since the 90s. Portland Youth Builders, or PYB, is an alternative school with a wide range of apprenticeships. That is something Brown wants to see replicated across Oregon so students get more engaged with school.
For Coder, Oregon has one of the lowest high school graduation rates in the country, and by providing students with hands-on learning and multiple career options and also the support connecting to employers, it has led many students on the path towards success.
PYB students dive into their fields almost immediately, so they learn from their mistakes. PYB also mentors students in life skills, from healthy relationships to career networking.
Meteorologist Dave Selesky joins us. It was pretty active start to the day, slipping and sliding everywhere, but now it's dry.
It's dry right now, and most of the main roads are dry and will remain that way overnight tonight. The problem's going to be, and I'll show you right now on the map, temperatures are already dropping off. We have fair skies in the forecast, as you can see. A few mix of clouds out there, but temperatures now in the upper 30s, and they're going to keep falling overnight tonight. We're looking at the coldest night so far for 2018. Here's some of the current temperatures for you across the area. Already below freezing in Estacada, you're at 29 degrees. Troutdale at 39, same thing for Vancouver. Hillsborough at 38, Kaiser at up to 42 at this time. But again, with these fair skies and that cold northerly flow, as soon as the sun sets, temperatures will rapidly fall off across much of the area. Now, I'm going to bring in the hour-by-hour forecast. We're going to show you 3 different versions of this and why we're having difficulty kind of nailing this storm down, and why that I'm concerned that just about anywhere from Longview and Kelso right here all the way down towards Eugene is going to have a chance of seeing some snow in the next 24 hours. Now, this version of the hour-by-hour, as you can see, keeps this system offshore, then puts it into the Willamette Valley right around Salem about afternoon commute time. We're going to have overcast skies, and we are going to see some snow out of this, but this takes the heavier precipitation down to the south of us into the central and south part of the Willamette Valley, and lighter amounts again further off towards the north. So we'll show you this next version of the hour-by-hour. You can see the main snow band out of this over the Coast Range, also down around Salem, I-5 down towards Eugene area. Let me show you version number 3 and why forecasters are scratching their head. This one keeps the moisture off to the north and right up over the Portland area, then slowly pushes things down towards the south, going in towards Wednesday. If we get this scenario, we're talking maybe another 2 to 3 inches of snow possible over all of western Oregon and southwestern Washington, including onto the valley floor. So we're keeping an eye on all of these, and that's why I'm saying somewhere between Longview down to Eugene, along that corridor, we'll see significant snow in the next 24 to 36 hours. So here's the storm impacts coming on shore for this evening. Tonight, dry and cold and wet roads. If they're wet right now, they are going to be icy, like a luge track after about 10, 11 o'clock this evening. So again, the main roads have dried out nicely because we've had fair skies and no additional precipitation, but a lot of the side streets are still wet and they're going to become icy later on tonight. Going into tomorrow on Tuesday, dry for the first part of the day. Again, we'll have those icy early morning roads, then increasing clouds and possibly seeing some snow by the afternoon commute. Now going into Tuesday evening, snow likely across the area, and I'm going anywhere from a trace to 2 inches of snow across the region, and that snow zone again, Longview down towards the Eugene area. It's the area you're going to keep an eye on. The evening planner for the immediate metropolitan area for tonight looks like this. We have partly cloudy skies there at this hour, 38 degrees. Between now and 7 o'clock as the sun goes down, we're at 34, and from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, temperatures drop down below freezing and stay that way overnight tonight and through mid-morning tomorrow. At 25 degrees, that's going to be the coldest night so far for the year. 37 for tomorrow, so we just get up above freezing. We'll see a mix of snow and rain, I think, by the afternoon, going all snow depending upon the timing of this next system. We're dry on Wednesday, we're dry on Thursday, and then Thursday night and going into Friday, another round of wintry weather is likely going to be occurring across the region.
Okay, Dave, thanks.
All right.
Well, some people are calling it the worst national anthem performance of all time. Coming up later, why Fergie's version had some people covering their ears.
Doctors are seeing more and more of a dangerous heart condition pop up in adults. Up next, why these deadly defects could go undetected for years.
You might take something for your heart, your joints, or your digestion. So why wouldn't you take something for the most important part of you, your brain? With an ingredient originally found in jellyfish, Prevagen is now the #1 selling brain health supplement in drugstores nationwide. Prevagen, the name to remember.
After 19 years of pro ball, I know pain, but Icy Hot lets me power past it.
Icy Hot No Mess Roll-On. Powerful relief for shoulders, backs, even arthritis. Icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away with no mess.
Icy Hot. Power past pain.
Allergy congestion makes you feel trapped. Break through with Allegra D 5-in-1 Relief. It works fast, has a non-drowsy antihistamine, and a powerful decongestant. Break through allergy congestion with Allegra D.
Tonight at 6, a community harassed for their religious beliefs, targeted by refugees and immigrants. K2 News uncovers anti-Semitism in Sweden. Watch Inside Your World tonight at 6 on K2 News.
I hated our bathtub, but who has time for a remodel? Not this family. And then there's the mess. Then I heard about Bath Fitter. They came in and put a beautiful new bathtub right over our old one. Bath Fitter also has seamless walls that provide a watertight fit. There's no mess, no demolition, and they get it done in as little as 1 day. Plus, they provide a lifetime guarantee. Thanks to Bath Fitter, I have a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
Hello, I'm Phil Ciani, General Manager here at McCord's Vancouver Toyota. For the second year in a row, we are voted the best new car dealership to purchase from in Clark County. I feel we earned this award by providing our guests with a truly exceptional client experience.
Whether it be service, sales, parts, anything they need, we're here for them. Everyone pitches in and does a phenomenal job here.
With our tenured management staff, our extensive vehicle inventory, and a timely, tailored, and transparent sales process, we save our clients time and money. At McCord's Vancouver Toyota, we make it easy.
Does your pet freak out from stress or fear? Try Thunder Ease Calming Pheromones from the makers of Thundershirt.
Thunder Ease mimics the cat and dog's own natural pheromones. That's why it works so well.
It's vet recommended and 100% guaranteed.
He just completely chilled out.
Thunder Ease pheromones work. It creates warmth and comfort. I see it in my own pets at home. I see it in my patients every single day.
Thunder Ease. Available at these and other fine retailers.
This is K2 on your side. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
In today's Sinclair Cares, you've probably heard of babies born with holes in their hearts. But did you know some of these congenital heart defects may go undetected until adulthood? Michelle Marsh introduces us to a man who found this out the hard way in a surprising twist.
Do you remember what I wrote there?
In 4 years of marriage, Mike DiMaggio has gladly accepted the role of caregiver for his wife, Kelly.
I was born with a complex congenital heart defect called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And essentially it means that I was born missing the left side of my heart.
But recently, Mike went from being Kelly's caregiver to being the patient in a heartbeat when he passed out at home after a minor surgical procedure.
Mid-conversation, I passed out for about 11 minutes.
He was as white as a sheet. He was drenched in like this cold sweat, and I was hysterical.
An ER doctor ruled out stroke and cardiac arrest, but told Mike to see a cardiologist. So he made an appointment with Kelly's doctor, Stacy Fisher.
On the ultrasound, we were able to find a hole between the top two chambers of his heart, which was called an atrial septal defect.
I was stunned, absolutely beside myself.
1 in 100 babies is born with a heart defect. Mike's is one of the more common defects, but it may never be detected in some people.
The hole between the top two chambers of the heart can be very hard to hear. It's fairly silent. So often people don't find it until they have a problem with it.
The hole was damaging Mike's heart, so he had a catheter procedure to close it. Mike's recovering quickly, and Dr. Fisher credits his 60-pound weight loss in recent years and improvements to his diet and exercise with dramatically improving his outcome.
It made the risk of his procedure less. It made his recovery easier so he could get right back up and start walking.
The DiMaggios made the lifestyle changes together to improve Kelly's health. Turns out they became crucial to Mike's as well.
Had that not happened, I don't think that he would have been nearly as lucky as we were.
For Sinclair Cares, I'm Michelle Marsh.
Dr. Fisher says warning signs for some heart defects include shortness of breath, heart palpitations, and fluid retention on the legs or belly. If you experience any of these symptoms, contact a medical professional.
Ash is once again filling the skies of Indonesia. Up next, what we know about the latest volcanic eruption there.
Plus, they survived one of the worst school shootings in American history. Now they want to see action. Why Florida students say they're angry at the president.
And there's a new way to get K2 News updates throughout the day on Amazon Echo devices. It's as easy as saying, Alexa, play the K2 News flash briefing. We have instructions on how to enable K2 News on your Amazon devices. Just go to our website, katu.com.
Granite countertops dull, smudges and smears everywhere? It's not your fault. Granite looks smooth, but actually has thousands of peaks and valleys that trap dirt and bacteria, causing stains. PermaTreat has the solution to lift it out. Then we seal your granite and grout with our exclusive permanent sealer to help repel dirt, stains, and bacteria. Your countertops will be revitalized. Smudges and smears gone. For a free estimate, call PermaTreat today at 503-263-1313.
Why are drivers 50 and over switching to the AARP auto insurance program from the Hartford? Let's take a ride with some actual customers and find out. Hey, well, tell me about your experience when you switched to the Hartford.
They saved me a bunch of money. I'm sitting there thinking, man, I should have turned 50 years ago. I'm getting older, and they're still taking care of me.
They're just so caring. They've got this thing called accident forgiveness. They're not going to raise your rate just because you had an accident.
Not to raise my rate in case something does happen. Where am I going to find a policy like that? Just make the call.
Drivers 50 and over are realizing there's car insurance just for them. The AARP Auto Insurance Program from the Hartford. You could save hundreds of dollars when you switch and get other incredible benefits like accident forgiveness. Call the Hartford to request your free quote at 1-877-HARTFORD. That's 1-877-HARTFORD. Or go to thehartford.com today.
Cutting corners has consequences. This Honda was repaired by a body shop that did it cheap and not to manufacturer's specs. The results? fourth-degree burns, a lifetime of suffering, a $42 million judgment. This is just one example. There are millions more. It's your choice. Choose the insurance-preferred discount body shop or Leif's. We follow manufacturer standards. Leif's Auto Collision Centers, doing the right thing for over 27 years.
This is K2 News, on your side.
As we mentioned earlier, the White House announced that President Trump is open to tougher background checks for gun purchases.
This is the first time since the Florida school shooting that he's addressed gun violence in any way, while survivors of the shooting are angry and demanding action. ABC's Tara Palmieri has more.
As funerals continue for the 17 victims of the Florida high school shooting, students rallied in front of the White House. They laid on the ground for 3 minutes to represent the time it reportedly took for suspected shooter Nicholas Cruz to buy an AR-15.
If we don't stand up, our voices will never be heard, and real change needs to happen now, and that's the way that it's going to be done.
On Wednesday, President Trump is slated to hold a listening sessions with students and teachers. He'll also talk to local and state officials about school safety. Over the weekend, Parkland students and supporters rallied for changes in gun laws and announced a march on Washington on March 24th.
We feel neglected, and at this point, you're either with us or against us.
In LA, gun control advocates rallied against the NRA's donations to Congress.
Enough is enough!
Tomorrow, about 100 students will head to Florida's Capitol demanding changes to gun laws. Today, the Florida State Senate says it's preparing sweeping legislation on gun control, including new age restrictions for gun purchases, a ban on bump stocks, and gun violence restraining orders. The outcry following the Florida shooting also leading some to put unexpected pressure on the NRA. Dallas officials suggested that the gun group find a new city for its annual convention.
There will be marches and demonstrations should they come to Dallas, and we, Dallas, will be the ones that have to bear the costs, the responsibility, and to protect the citizens.
The administration addressed gun violence for the first time today. In a statement, a White House spokesperson said the president is open to tougher background checks for gun purchases. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
A 6-year-old boy and 3 other people are hurt after a shooting outside a restaurant in Texas last night. The boy is expected to be okay, but 2 other victims in their 20s may not survive. Police say they're all related. They also think the suspect probably knew the victims. Officers say the suspect was wearing a mask and ran off to a nearby hotel.
New developments in the Russia investigation. A former Trump campaign advisor has reportedly agreed to testify against ex-campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Los Angeles Times reports Rick Gates will also plead guilty to fraud-related charges. Manafort and Gates were slapped with conspiracy and other charges by special counsel Robert Mueller last year. Those charges are related to their work in Ukraine long before the president's presidential run. If Gates cooperates, he would be the 3rd person from the Trump campaign to do so. And experts say that would turn up the pressure on Manafort to cooperate with Mueller as well.
We want to take you to a live look at Capitol Hill. Things are quiet there tonight. Members of Congress are back home in their districts this week. And while there is still no fix for dreamers yet, lawmakers did pass the first stage of a spending bill, which the president signed into law. Our national correspondent, Christine Frizzau, takes a look at how some supporters of that bill have largely changed their tune over the last few years.
It was one of the defining principles of the modern-day conservative movement.
You can't spend more money than you bring in, and that's a fairly simple concept, isn't it?
That was Congressman Rob Bishop in 2013, reacting to President Obama's budget. And this is him now.
The deal is extremely good, especially for the military.
Congressman Bishop is just one of 24 members affiliated with the Tea Party, which voted in favor of the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2018. Now law, it adds $2 trillion to the debt and increases deficits by $320 billion over the next 10 years. The Tea Party movement at its core stood for fiscal responsibility and helped sweep Republicans into power in the House in 2010. Today, it's often linked with the House Freedom Caucus, and some members did vote against it.
Sure, I think this budget does go against the fundamental tenets of not only the Tea Party movement, but all fiscal conservatives. It's one of the reasons why I voted against it.
The Tea Party-backed FreedomWorks calls it a bad deal, but there's no indication anything will change in the next vote. Funding runs out on March 23rd, though some Republican lawmakers continue railing against the spending bill.
When you cut taxes and then you dramatically increase spending, you haven't really cut taxes. You've just sent the bill to the next generation.
That concept helped get dozens of GOP lawmakers voted into office under President Obama. Since then, many have changed their tune, seemingly more interested in making a deal under President Trump. The question now is whether that will matter to voters. On Capitol Hill, I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
In today's KATU.com question of the day, we're asking, how worried are you about the national debt? Worried, somewhat worried, or not worried? Head to KATU.com/question to vote.
Around the world today, rescuers are still looking for the crashed Iranian plane that went down yesterday, killing all 65 people on board. State-run media says there is no reliable news that the plane has been found. Foggy weather in the remote mountain area has made search efforts difficult and kept helicopters grounded. A spokesman for the Iranian airline told State TV the plane was flying from Tehran when it went down. The plane had recently been brought back into service. And another volcano in Indonesia has erupted. Tonight, Mount Sinabung is spewing ash about 3 miles into the air. This is in North Sumatra, just east of Kuala Lumpur. No one has died. Back in November, Bali's Mount Agung was erupting, stranding tourists and forcing thousands of people to evacuate.
Well, Great Britain may be facing a chicken crisis. Coming up next, what KFC is blaming for massive closures across the pond.
Plus, Facebook moving forward and launching a controversial app. Why some say it could be related to the social media giant's financial ties.
Stressful days can lead to sleepless nights, making you feel helpless. Take control of your sleep with Unisom Sleep Tabs. You fall asleep 33% faster and wake up recharged. With all the benefits of a good night's rest, take control of your sleep with Unisom.
Allergy sufferers, a word to the wise. If symptoms at night ruin your next day, try Zysol. It relieves symptoms while you sleep and keeps relieving all day. Because Zysol's as effective at hour 24 as at hour 1. So, be wise-all. Take Zysol.
Hi, I'm Sandy, and this is one of my great plumbers at DNF Plumbing. He's not only an experienced journeyman plumber who can fix almost every plumbing problem, but we also send him to school to keep updated on the latest building codes and industry techniques so he can come back with D's and F's. Well, D for drips, F for faucets. Licensed, experienced, educated plumbers for every plumbing emergency or installation. We tackle everything you don't want to, big or small. DNF Plumbing, D for drip, F for faucet. Call us today.
These days, it's all about doing more with less, like all this. Now fits into this. Convenient, right? At Northwest Natural, we're big fans of convenience, so we make managing your account online a snap. You can track your gas use, view and pay your bill, schedule equipment tune-ups, and more, all with this. Everything you need to stay up to date on your account and save time and money while you're at it. Get started with free, convenient self-service tools at nwnatural.com.
It's time to answer the call. The oozing drips and the smacking lips. Snizzle dizzle. Piggity wiggity buck wild beef busting straight out of the gate, showing his teeth like a flavor stampede. Crispity rings, oh whoa, taking it SLO. With the Western Bacon Cheeseburger. That's the call of Carl's. Pick up.
Listen up, all you procrastinators, you do-it-laters, until tomorrow waiters. It's the President's Day sales event at your local Ford store. There's never been a better time to get an amazing deal on America's best-selling brand. With 0 for 60 plus 2,500 cash back or 4,500 cash back on Escape or Edge. So don't be a regretter, a should-have-known better, and a no-deal getter. Now through February 28th, choose between 0 for 60 plus 2,500 cash back or 4,500 cash back on top of your trade. Only at your local Ford store.
Here's another check of your Chevy Equinox time saver traffic. This is I-205 at Airport Way. Remember, it is the President's Day holiday, so traffic is lighter than normal. We're not seeing any major issues out there. Traffic flowing pretty smoothly. These are your current travel times. These numbers are low, too. 10 minutes on 205 northbound from the Milwaukee area up to I-84.
We have a K2 consumer alert. You may want to check your child's school lunch because of a nationwide chicken recall. USDA says Pilgrim's Pride Court is recalling more than 50 tons of chicken patties because someone says they found rubber in one. The breaded patties come from Gold Kissed Farms and are packaged in 30-pound boxes dated September 6th of last year. Many were distributed to schools. Pilgrim says the rubber was from an equipment failure at the facility.
England is having chicken trouble as well. Some KFC branches have had to close due to a chicken shortage. 800 out of their 900 locations in Britain have not been getting deliveries. The company recently started using DHL for shipments, and there have been problems with distribution. DHL says they are aware of the problem, and several of their deliveries were delayed or incomplete. Until they get back on track, KFC has had to close some restaurants. They don't know how long it will take to get back to normal.
Well, Facebook's still launching their Messenger app for kids despite criticism. It's already up in Android and available on Amazon devices. It's for kids between the ages of 6 and 12 and does link to a parent's account so they can track activity. Kids advocates say Facebook needs to shut it down, claiming kids just aren't ready to manage a social account and it could increase screen time. Others question Facebook's financial ties with advisors who worked on the app.
Dry skies in the forecast. Plenty of sunshine helped to melt some snow today on the Oregon coast. Beautiful blue sky and sunshine, but oh so cold for this evening. And on radar, nothing popping up at this time, but that's going to change. There is more snow in the forecast. I've got the details coming up.
Nearly half the country under winter weather watches tonight. When we come back, the series of storms causing mayhem on the roads and mass flooding. Plus.
Oh, say, can you see?
Well, this is the national anthem everybody's talking about. Decide for yourself whether one pop star's rendition of one of the worst ever or if she's getting a bad rap over it. That's next.
K2 News is brought to you in part by Family Matters.
Coming up, the alleged school shooter, the new video, what it shows. Also tonight, the Twitter storm President Trump unleashes. The major winter storm, 24 states from California to Vermont, and a huge fight on board a cruise ship. You'll see it next.
I no longer judge myself as the heaviest person in the photo. It's a big deal as a woman. I wanted to look good for my 40th class reunion with a Phoenix. It felt like I was 18 again. Wow. I met the doctor at the consultation and he explained the procedures. So I got two things done at once. I'm the skinny one in the middle. Thanks for the jumpstart of Phoenix.
Let Athenix Body Sculpting jumpstart your life today. See the results at athenixbody.com.
Cutting corners has consequences. This Honda was repaired by a body shop that did it cheap and not to manufacturer's specs. The results? Fourth-degree burns, a lifetime of suffering, a $42 million judgment. This is just one example. There are millions more. It's your choice. Choose the insurance-preferred discount body shop or Leif's. We follow manufacturer standards. Leif's Auto Collision Centers, doing the right thing for over 27 years.
For over 20 years, River City Environmental has been providing emergency response and environmental maintenance services to the greater Portland, Vancouver, and Salem areas. River City's residential response team is available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. No plumbing job is too big or too small, and there isn't a septic or sewer problem we can't tackle. River City's commitment to service and quality is second to none. Give us a call or visit us online at rivercityusa.com.
My shoulders carry more than my country's pride. They carry my community's pride, my family's pride,
Hi, Mom.
and pride in myself. Because shoulders are made for greatness, not dandruff.
How can you make your hair even stronger? Use Pantene shampoo together with 3-Minute Miracle Daily Conditioner. Their Pro-V formula is like a multivitamin, making your hair 2 times stronger. See the difference when you add 3-Minute Miracle Daily Conditioner.
Hello, I'm Phil Ciani, General Manager here at McCord's Vancouver Toyota. With our tenured management staff, our extensive vehicle inventory, and a timely, tailored, and transparent sales process, we save our clients time and money. At McCord's Vancouver Toyota, we make it easy.
Major League Baseball unveiled some new rules today to try to speed up games. This season, each team can only make 6 visits to the mound per game unless they're changing pitchers. The changes also attempt to force half innings to start on time instead of waiting for pitchers or hitters to be ready. However, there is not a pitch clock. The new rules are designed to try to cut down on the average time of a 9-inning game, which was more than 3 hours last year.
Now let's head to the K2 newsroom where Steve Dunn is standing by with a look at stories coming up at 5. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Deb. Here's what's happening today. Our storm tracker weather alert continues into the 5 o'clock hour, and we'll hear how local school districts plan to decide if the weather will cancel or delay classes tomorrow. Also coming up at 5, a local music legend receives a colorful new honor today. We're going to show you how Voodoo Donuts is saying thanks in stained glass. And fighting off a homeowner, a contractor says she was sexually assaulted while examining a crawl space in Kalama.
It is appalling. It is. It's not okay. It's just not appropriate to, especially if you don't know anybody. Even if you know somebody, it's not appropriate.
This is coming up tonight. Police say that homeowner tried to force himself on the woman when she was just trying to do her job. New at 5, how the contractor got free and why it was pretty easy for police to make an arrest there. We'll have that and a whole lot more coming up on K2 News at 5. We'll see you guys shortly.
Okay, Steve, thank you. Now to storm trackers. Nearly 24 states are on alert for hazardous weather conditions as a series of storms is sweeping across the U.S., bringing rain, wind, heavy snow, and ice. ABC's Danya Backus has more.
In the west, went from blue sky to pelting down sleet. Cold, wind, and snowy weather in Seattle, Washington. High winds and waves closing the Interstate 90 floating bridge there. Gusty winds also sparking a wildfire in California, forcing 200 people to evacuate. Hazardous weather hitting all across the United States. In the Midwest, there's snow and ice. Whiteout conditions affecting drivers in Rapid City, South Dakota, and in Iowa.
Start thinking about an interstate shutdown if we need to get cars moved.
Slick roads causing a pileup of more than 50 cars, shutting down Interstate 35. A daring rescue in Michigan by fire crews and the Coast Guard after a man fell through the ice while fishing on Saginaw Bay. Heavy rain in Mississippi and the Ohio Valley region is causing major flooding. In West Virginia, a state of emergency has been declared as the Ohio River continues to rise. And in Ohio, a flood warning is in effect throughout Cincinnati, where the Ohio River is cresting and may reach up to 55 feet by Wednesday. After a weekend of snowy weather in the Northeast, from Maine to Florida could see unseasonably warm weather, even record highs by Friday. Here on the West Coast, we are expecting some of the coldest air of the season. By Tuesday, wind chills in the 30s will be felt from San Francisco to right here in Los Angeles. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And meteorologist Dave Zaleski's here to talk more about our storm tracker weather alert. You've been back there fighting the computer models, is what you're telling me.
Yeah,
Dave.
I mean, we have 5 or 6 different versions we look at back there, and just about each and every one of them has a little different track. And, you know, when you get a snow scenario, a distance of 25, 30, 40 miles can mean a lot as far as how much snow someone does or does not get. In the meantime, we have a winter weather advisory going up tomorrow morning. This will go all the way through Wednesday morning now until 4 o'clock. So as you can see, much of Western Oregon and southwestern Washington under a winter weather advisory beginning tomorrow, including the Coast Range and including the western part of the Columbia River Gorge. Let's pull the map out, give you a little wider view here. Temperatures across the area. Still quite chilly. We're at 38 down in Eugene, 40 for Salem, 38 here in Portland. Over on the coast, temperatures there as well in the 30s and 40s. And it's teens and 20s over most of central and eastern Oregon. And tonight, on the east side of the Cascades, we're talking record lows are likely in the Bend Redmond area, out towards Burns and LeGrand, single digits or below 0 temperatures there. So with very dry, cold air mass in place tonight. So even on the west side, we're talking about under partly cloudy skies and the coldest night so far of the year coming on shore to western Oregon, including here in the Portland, Vancouver area. And then we have this little disturbance right there, you see, dropping on in just now parallel to the north part of Vancouver Island. As that slides south, we'll see increasing increasing clouds arriving for tomorrow. It'll start out dry, but the clouds will be thickening up throughout the day. And depending upon where that little band of clouds and that little area of low pressure right there goes, will depend upon just how much snow will fall in an area from Longview all the way down towards the Eugene area. Now, some of the computer models are saying we're going to keep it offshore. Others are taking it to the south of us. I'm kind of going to go with this model, which is the European computer model. And as you can see, between now and about noon or 2 o'clock tomorrow on Tuesday, clouds are increasing across the area. And then shortly thereafter, the snow begins to fall all across the area and going into Wednesday morning. And with this particular scenario, we're talking maybe a trace to 3 inches of snow right along the I-5 corridor, including Vancouver, Portland, out towards Hillsborough, and south down towards the Salem area. So I think we'll keep an eye on that. So snow could be arriving as early as the evening commute tomorrow on Tuesday, continue through Tuesday evening and going into Wednesday as well. And again, maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow possible in some locations. But now for tonight, dry, partly cloudy, cold and icy. If your street is wet this afternoon, it is going to be icy later on tonight as overnight lows drop down to 25 degrees, even colder in some of the outlying areas. We're talking southeast winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. No chance of rain or snow for this evening. That's going to change, though, by the afternoon tomorrow with increasing clouds, and we'll see a mixed precipitation or snow developing getting in towards the afternoon commute area, and a better chance of that snow sticking because temperatures tonight will be well below freezing, so the ground and the roads will be freezing up, and that means better chance of sticking snow across the area. Wednesday we're dry, same thing for Thursday, and then another chance of seeing some wintry precipitation later in the week before things warm up into the 40s, upper 40s for daytime highs, and upper 30s for overnight lows. So winter, old man winter, is not done with the Pacific Northwest yet.
Busy week.
Oh, yes.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Okay, so time now for the feed, our daily look at what's big on social media.
A very different rendition of the national anthem from Fergie is generating a lot of talk. The entertainer belted it out during last night's NBA All-Star game.
And the Rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there.
Okay, some laughed, others appeared less than impressed. Then there were those who just looked on in amazement. It did not take long for Twitter to erupt with opinions on her performance. Fergie released a statement today saying she took an artistic risk, admitting her rendition didn't strike the intended tone. Do you know what I thought it sounded like? It reminded me of Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
Really?
It was just that weird, campy, just...
Yeah, but that was
I felt like I was
weirdness.
in a jazz club or something.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's the tone that you want to set with an actor.
I think
not.
Jimmy Kimmel pretty much summed it up. He just kind of stood there and smiled, and you're kind of going like, okay.
We all remember Roseanne's rendition.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
She tweeted, I think mine was better low-key.
Wow. Well,
Possibly.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay, well, we all know never to believe everything you see on the internet. This is a great example.
A persistent rumor that Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is the love child of Fidel Castro has led the Canadian government to release an official denial. The theory was supposedly sparked after the late Cuban dictator's death in 2016, after Trudeau sparked outrage when he praised Castro. Now, some people on the web remarked the similarities between Castro and Trudeau, leading to the rumor. Apparently, Canada was so fed up with the theory, they released a statement saying Trudeau's mother didn't visit Cuba until several years after the Prime Minister's birth and never met
Is there a long
Castro.
form of that birth certificate somewhere? I don't know.
I think it's ridiculous that they had to respond to this.
Yes.
But I guess with enough people...
He is the grandson of the...
All right, Dave.
Okay.
Frustrating.
Fair warning, this may be the most disgusting thing you see all week.
New York City is hosting Toy Fair 2018, and gross toys are in this year. This is Poo Dough.
What?
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
We're
This looks like the real thing, but without the smell. That's their slogan. You can shape it.
No.
With 2 different shades
my God.
of brown dough. Then there's this, Papa's It. It really requires no explanation.
Oh.
Or you can also try out the toilet paper blaster, kind of like a super soaker, only this one fires fresh toilet paper spit wads. You can load it up with water and TP and then let her rip.
Okay, so I have a 10-year-old son, and I don't think he would even be interested
So
in this.
he would think these are gross also?
I think so.
What was the third one?
I hope so.
That was the TP.
Super soaker. You can like file spit wads, basically.
We did that in junior high.
Well, maybe you're the audience.
That was 45
Target
years
audience
ago.
right here.
Okay.
Keep in touch with us on Twitter. We're at DebNapK2. Lincoln Graves and Selesky K2 use the Live on K2 hashtag.
The happiest day of her life almost turned into a nightmare. Up next, one bride's memorable wedding after she gets stuck in an elevator.
Yikes.
Stay with us.
And time now for our Chevy Equinox Time Saver traffic with ODOT cameras. This is Highway 26 at the Oregon Zoo. You see a little bit of snow left off on the side of the road, but it's not impacting traffic at all. Traffic seems to be moving fairly nicely. And now I-5 at the Fremont Bridge. And again, easy traffic day. We're back after this.
Does your shower look dirty no matter how many cleaning products you've tried? Tile and grout dingy? Mold, soap scum, and hard water stains won't go away? It's time to call the professionals at Permatreat. We'll professionally clean and sterilize your tile, grout, and glass to hospital standards. Then permanently seal it to help repel mold, bacteria, and soap scum. Bring new life back to your shower. For a free estimate, call Permatreat today at 503-263-1313.
Where's my cooler? My sandwich is in there. Oh, boy. Nice try, pal.
That feeling, only better. Confidence, thanks to a reinforced safety cage. Standard on the 5-star overall safety-rated Volkswagen Passat and Jetta.
Hurry in this President's Day and lease a new 2018 Volkswagen Jetta S for just $149 a month.
Hey, I'm thinking about switching my car insurance. Who do you have? Oh, we gotta talk. I really have to call Amica. Yes, you do.
If you ask around, pretty soon you'll learn there are auto insurance customers and then there are Amica customers.
At Amica, we've built our reputation on outstanding customer service, great claims service, and customer satisfaction. Do some research and you'll be impressed.
Let's see if Amica is really that good. They're really that good.
With Amica, you always talk directly to a knowledgeable and experienced representative. Get a quote right now and see how clear and easy auto insurance can be.
This is it. I'm calling Amica for a quote.
Good rate?
Good everything.
Amica is available online and on the phone at your convenience, 24 hours a day.
We make it easy to save money, too, with our long list of auto insurance discounts. Get your free quote now.
Welcome to Amica. This is helpfulness, insured.
The Air National Guard Base, tonight at 6, only on K2 News.
Welcome back. This next story isn't a case of a runaway bride, but rather a stuck bride. As Rebecca Turco reports, an elevator malfunction could have ruined one Rhode Island woman's big night.
Melissa Rogers' dream wedding went all according to plan, until it came time for the reception.
I jumped in the elevator, and we started to go up. The elevator kind of just shuttered, and we all thought, oh, weird. And then the doors never opened.
Stuck in the Providence Biltmore elevator, 4 feet shy of the 18th floor, she and 2 wedding planners waited and waited.
I was hoping that, like, okay, it'll just take a minute, 2 minutes. 5 minutes went by, and I thought, okay, something might be wrong.
One of her bridesmaids came up to me and whispered in my ear, "We have a situation that's going on. Don't be alarmed, but Melissa is stuck in the elevator."
Soon, the fire department came, prying open the doors.
26 years, I've never seen anything like this.
Melissa missing her own cocktail hour as firefighters worked to determine how she could get out without ruining her dress.
We were prepared to get her honeymoon clothes, get it down to her.
But that crisis was averted when the technician came and got the elevator back up. Melissa was back on solid ground. after a crazy 45 minutes in limbo.
It was unfortunate, but
it's a great memory.
Yeah, it was a good
It's going to be a
story.
great memory.
That was Rebecca Turco reporting. And that is it for K2 News at 4. Thank you for joining us. K2 News at 5 starts right now.